I used to have several sites. Now I kind of like the grower's edge. It gives me that cash max. You can tell it which markets you're looking for, and it will tell you what your highest net back is based on the price they're paying at that time and the basis that they're paying. And that's pretty handy because I don't have to go to so many different sites.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. It's Tuesday, March 17th. We had a lot of selling today in the grains. Let's take a look at the Grain Edge trading platform and see where we closed. In corn, we were off 7 cents a bushel, while soybeans was down 13 and Chicago wheat off a dime. Cody, what was some of the driving news today?
Well, first of all, I think what we saw here is a little bit of a pullback after that short covering in wheat. Wheat finally trading lower here after seeing some short covering for the last couple weeks. But when you look at corn and soybeans, I really think a lot of this is just pressure from South American harvest. I think when you look at it, not only are we weak technically, but we also have some rumors that possibly some Argentinian corn is going to make its way onto eastern U.S. shores. That's going to have a negative impact here on the price of corn. And I think one of the reasons why we were so weak here in corn futures. Not only that, but we saw last week the 50-day and 100-day moving average cross. That's a very bearish signal here for corn. Today we broke through the lows that were printed really at the very end of January, very beginning of February, down around 373 for corn, and also we broke through that support of 961 for soybeans when we're looking at the May contract. All in all, just a pretty negative day here for the grains, and I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to move lower here. Right. I know that we have kind of chopped around in the market really for the last couple weeks. It seems like we're always chopping around. But you know, I think that it's very likely that we can continue to drift lower and possibly even test the lows that we saw back in October. We're a lot closer here for soybeans than we are for corn, but it does make me concerned that we could retest these lows.
Right. In the cash market, we are starting to see some movement in basis, especially along ethanol plants. We saw Columbus, Nebraska up 7 cents today for the first time, moving higher in about a month. So, my guess is that we're seeing this softness in the futures market really starting to take a toll on pipeline supplies, especially in those ethanol plants in the Western Corn Belt.
Yes.
So I think that's probably a good thing for basis traders, especially as we get into planting and field work types of situations. I think the basis, especially in corn, probably is ready to see more strength in the next weeks ahead.
Absolutely, and another thing that could be weighing here on corn, there was talks that China purchased over 600,000 metric tons of corn from Ukraine. Now, China is not a very large importer of corn. Mm-hmm. We saw them import more from Ukraine here than from the U.S. in January. So it's a little bit concerning here when you see China, which in the past has come to the U.S. for corn, start turning its attention over toward Ukraine.
Right. And Cody, in the wheat market, we had kind of a reversal of fortune today with wheat trading lower. We've been trading higher on some concerns about dryness in the southern plains. We got some reports late Monday from Kansas and Oklahoma showing a drop in winter wheat conditions, but still, I think this market needs a lot more than that to really get excited about moving higher right now.
Yeah, I agree. And the wheat conditions here globally, there are some concerns. Western Russia there's some concerns in those areas, very dry. What we're seeing is above average temperatures, some of this wheat coming out of dormancy into very dry conditions. Like you mentioned, Kevin, we saw Kansas conditions here move down 5%. In Oklahoma, they moved down 2%. This isn't something that's going to spark a bull rally, but what we've seen it do is provide a reason here for short positions to take some off the table to see a little bit of short covering. I think today, we have just a continuation of the overall trend here, which is very bearish, excessive amounts of wheat in the global market. Other than that, guys, that wraps up today's show. If you have any questions about what we talked about here today, give us a call. The number is 877 877-472-4607. And remember, if you haven't done so already, take a demo of the trading platform. I think you're going to get a kick out of the fact that you have live quotes on your phone. You don't have to be at the desk anymore. You don't have to be on the phone on hold waiting for a full service broker. You can do it all in the palm of your hand. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you here on Wednesday for the Ethanol Production Report.